The other day, heater's running. Indiana wanted to let us know it's still winter, and now it's freezing cold.
I feel like somebody's watching me.
Alright, as you've seen, we've been getting a little bit work done on the right. I kind of want to take this big chunk out of the left just to get it at least started. You can kind of see I outlined how big of the panel I made to replace the rot. So let's trace that, and I found out from the other side, making a panel that fits the exact hole you cut, it's kind of hard to weld. It's pretty thin metal. I mean, pretty much all of it's a little bit rusty. So I think I'm just gonna do an overlay on everything else now. So I'm just gonna cut, inside this line so there's a little bit of a lip. It makes it easier for the metal on the car to take the heat versus trying to do two edges. So I'll probably, right here, it's still pretty good metal over in this corner. So I will cut down around this guy right here. I'm just gonna cut out as much rust as I can. So all this stuff will come out down here. I'll cut this till I get to some clean metal. Cut this stuff out till I get to some clean metal. And then I will transfer these holes onto this plate, since they'll still be, they'll still be connected to the car on the bottom side. And I'll probably even drill a hole through the plate so I can spot weld this to the plate to give it a little more structure. And then obviously I'll drill holes along where this lip is for the factory frame rail to tie that into the plate also. But yeah, it's gonna be a big nasty cut. And just from messing with everything else on the other side, it's not turning out the best, but it's definitely not any worse than what it was, because it was pretty bad. So I mean, it's not like this stuff is doing much. Sorry for all the shadows. It's hard to get light over here. But yeah, I'm just gonna do cuts along here, get all this rot out, and like I said, cut up over here, get some of that rot out, cut up along here, get all that out, and then yeah, start fitting in the other panel. See if I can move the other camera over here so we can get time lapse of this stuff. The other side of the frame rail where it comes forward and then bends up, this is that little flange right across there. This plug is for these two bolt holes, it gives them support, and like I said, those four are for the big bolts up top. So I think now I might actually kick these holes up another size bigger before I plug weld them, just to give me a little more time to get heat, to get a good contact and a good weld on the plate, the sheet metal behind it, and then work your way out in a circle to fill the weld in. And then once I get done with all that, I'll work my way all the way up and around. This looks a little rusty, but it's still solid. That hurt. Oh. And then I cut this part out, which is obviously was rotten, so I got to make a small plate to plug that in later, and then I got to cut the hole open where the brake line comes through. But I think it's going to be the main patch for this side. Kind of see where we're at. We got the big patch in for the most part. Still got a few plug holes. And it's the other side of this I'm going to weld on the inside of the bay. So tomorrow I need to go to a Chinese tool store, Harbor Freight, and get me a deep C-channel clamp, one that will reach up around the frame rail up to here, so I can clamp this this gap a little bit tighter. It wasn't bad there because I was able to get it with a clamp through this hole, but I need to get these a little bit tighter before I plug weld them. So that's in for the most part. That patch. Might throw some weld down here in the corner. I don't know. We'll see. It's pretty dirty. But and then here's the other side of it. So I need to clean everything up, grind it all down. Like I said, this gap will go away, so I'm getting that C-channel clamp for, so I can pull these together right here. Pull this seam together before I weld it. Then I need to make a patch for this guy tomorrow. Clean the other side up, figure out which holes I'm going to plug, which ones I'm not. I might be passing on all the frame rail stuff, we'll see. I might just do like plastic plugs. It's if it's hard to get to the back side of it, to either where I can't either hold the piece of copper on the back side and plug the hole, or I can actually hold a piece of sheet metal on the other side and plug the hole. I don't know if I'm gonna take the time to, like, you'd have to match perfectly the plug into the hole and then hold it with a magnet or something, you know. God forbid, you know, you knock it inside the firm rail, well, now you gotta start over, you lost the plug you just spent all this time fitting, so I might just wave off on those and just put plastic push plugs, you know, in them that were, well, some had them in there from the factory, some did, but, so the frame rails, I might wave off on all the holes that are in the frame rails and just put plastic plugs in those, and still do most of the ones that are in the fender wells, like all these guys will get plugged still. So, yeah, we'll come out here tomorrow. Hopefully, my lungs will be feeling a little better. It's quite smoky in here. Like I said, I have to open the garage door and let fresh air in and out pretty often. And it's still probably not often enough, so that's it for tonight. See what we get done tomorrow.